Hi everyone, I'm Laurel O'Sullivan. I'm a lawyer turned empowerment coach who uses astrology to help you align with your purpose and power. And in this video, I want to tell you or show you how we can use astrology to connect with our intuition. So, our intuition is our deeper knowing, our inner voice. Some call it our God voice. It's the voice that we are all born with, that deeper knowing that over time becomes conditioned out of us through society, through our upbringing. But when we can connect with it, it's powerful and it's unstoppable. And astrology and the study of our birth chart is a really powerful tool for helping us to connect to that because your birth chart shows you the placement, a map, if you will, of the planets on the day that you were born. And this represents an energy field. So it's the energetic imprint of the universe on you and your soul the day you were born. And your imprint is very unique. It is said that no birth chart will repeat for 25,000 years, unless, of course, you were born at the exact same time, the exact same location as somebody else. So the first way that our birth chart and an understanding of astrology can help connect us with our intuition is by understanding that what our birth chart shows us is our truth, our life mission, our purpose, as I like to call it. It's the deepest level of what your soul is here to express, and it is unique to you. And we can then use this truth as a guidepost, a reference point, almost like the north node or the north direction north on a compass, for guiding us throughout our life. And so in this sense, astrology and our birth chart can be viewed as a spiritual tool for understanding our place in the universe as part of a larger plan, and it can be a very compassionate source of affirmation in that sense, because nature is the embodiment of truth, and the solar system is a moving part of nature, and it's nature in motion. And it's actually through studying my birth chart and being introduced to astrology several years ago that I used its guidance to connect with my intuition and made the choice to transition from being a lawyer to being an empowerment coach who uses astrology. So it shows us our pathway for growth, gives us a set of guiding questions to ask ourselves, which are more important than the answers. And our best instincts are based in the truth. So when we consult our chart, this imprint, energetic imprint on our soul the day we were born, we get assurances or affirmations as to whether we are aligned with our truth. Because when we study our chart, there's a life script or story that emerges that embodies our truth. And there are generally three key points in the birth chart that you probably might be familiar with, which is your moon, your sun sign, and your rising sign, which is the easternmost sign on the horizon the day you were born. And together, those three are what are considered sort of like the three legs of the stool, or the skeleton of your of who you are, who you came here to be. And so the final thing I'll say about how astrology connects us to our truth is that you change, but your chart doesn't. Your chart shows you your potential and the pathway that you need to get there. It can show you the obstacles, it can show you your strengths. And by studying those over time, as well as the challenges that you are uniquely here to confront in your lifetime, it can show you the area of life where you will have the most opportunity for growth. And there's a saying in astrology, wherever you have planets, you have problems or opportunities. So those tend to be the areas in our chart, in our life, where we will experience the most growth. Okay, so the second way that astrology in studying our birth chart can connect us with our intuition is because the planets actually represent parts of ourselves. They show us our instincts, and by understanding these parts of ourselves, it's a very powerful tool for self-discovery. So the sun is our instinct to shine. It's our ego, our identity. The moon is our instinct to develop a sense of security, emotional security, a sense of home and belonging. Mercury is our instinct to communicate. It represents our intelligence and our mind and our inner thought processes. Venus represents our instinct to love and show what we value. Mars is our instinct to act, to assert our will and our desire. Jupiter is our instinct to expand, to see things from a higher perspective, to connect with that generous part of ourselves. Saturn is our instinct to commit, to develop our own inner authority. Uranus is our instinct to express our truth. Neptune is our spiritual instincts, our instinct to express unconditional love. And finally, Pluto is your instinct to express power. So when we look at our chart, it's like looking in a mirror. And as your sense of self-awareness grows, so does clarity of the images that you see. So rather than thinking of astrology or your chart as a crystal ball that tells you what is going to happen, I very much see astrology as a mirror that reflects back to us who we are becoming. And the third way that astrology connects us with our intuition is that by knowing the cycles of the planets, where they are, you can connect with the cycle of life that you are currently experiencing. So we have the planets that are in our birth chart that never move. Those stay the same. But then on a everyday basis, daily, weekly, the planets are transiting or changing. And so by studying those transits and how they're affecting us, we can make better and more powerful decisions, because when certain planets are interacting with our planets where they were the day we were born, that brings to the front certain instincts. When Venus is making a connection to our birth chart, for instance, we have a deeper sense of how we are here to love and what we are here to love and value. So when those planets transit, it invites us to grow in response to the energy that that planet is vibrating at. And as you respond to these transits, you're shaping your future to align with your highest potential. And as an example, one of the most important and powerful transits that is talked about a lot in astrology is Saturn. It's considered to be the timekeeper of the zodiac because its cycles are regular and predictable. It spends about 2.5 years in each sign, and it takes 29 years to go around the entire zodiac. So that's why it's often thought of that we don't reach adulthood or maturity until we reach the age of 29 or your Saturn return. And then similarly, about 14.5 years later, Saturn is opposing where it was the day you were born, and that's often considered to be a time of crisis or confrontation, the midlife crisis, where we are deciding what we've outgrown in our life or what still fits with our life. So hopefully those 3 ways that I've just shared with you about how astrology and an understanding of your birth chart can connect you with your intuition have moved you or inspired you to want to go deeper in understanding your birth chart. And I look forward to hearing any comments that you have on this, any questions, and of course I would love to connect with you in my Facebook group, through a reading, a consultation. There's a number of ways, so please feel free to reach out.